Ambition is critical.
And we're back in the room. Oh, God, it was a bit loud then. Hang on, let me step back from the mic. How's things, Pat?
Yeah, all good, mate.
Good?
Yeah, brilliant. Now I just seen the fucking list of football on WhatsApp group, like, that's
Tremendous.
fucking brilliant, isn't it?
I know. It's like, are we getting into some sort of normality? Like, I'm looking at the games. I just, like, obviously you've seen the same thing I did. And I'm looking at that. Like, the games are going to come thick and fast, like 2 games a night. You're like, oh, fuck me, this is bang on. And like the
Mate, it's going to be like proper old school sports night, remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like, don't forget, because you haven't had football for so long, it's going to be like proper a game a day. Usually I can't think of anything fucking worse.
Yeah.
But no, because you're going to be spoiled, it's going to be fucking brilliant. For the next 2 months, you're going to have a festival of football, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's like you're going to be watching Aston Villa, Sheffield United, getting excited about it. Like, oh, let's get the cans in. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at those fixtures for the first week. And I think the first games are on a Wednesday. And it's Man City Arsenal at like 8 o'clock, right?
Then it's Liverpool Everton.
Right, and then on a Friday then is Spurs Man U. You know what I mean? So they're not even like holding back, like let us warm up. They're like, oh, all the big guns against each other.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm the same as you. I'm nonplussed with Premiership football these days. I just watch the fucking Swans, and I will watch, the big games. But now I'm like, fuck me, I can't wait to watch Bournemouth versus Watford. Oh, let's have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think absence makes the art go fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. When you haven't had any, only watching his reruns of Euro '96 on a fucking TV. Are you scranning that box that we've been given?
It's already been done, mate.
You've eaten it, have you? Yeah,
fuck, mate. The only reason I didn't do it straight away as soon as he left on the doorstep was I thought Donna would have liked to see it first.
Well,
honestly, I'm having nightmares tonight. I've had more cheese than fucking Tom and Jerry. I'm be fucking having nightmares all night now.
Well, let's just explain what that is, right? So,
yeah, go on,
if you haven't seen it, Instagram, because it has been posted up. A couple of weeks ago, well, not last week before, a friend of mine called Richard Lancaster sent me a message, and he just said, oh, look, right, we've known each other a very long time. Richard grew up together, basically. And Richard said to me, oh, look, I just want to, is there any way I can send you and Paddy a gift for keeping me sane during the lockdown, like, Because obviously everyone's had...
Straight away we think 3.5 weeks.
Oh, yeah, we was like, well, I don't know, is the dealer still doing deliveries? But,
Yeah, my drug dealer's on furlough, so I thought it was going to be a mixed kebab from Pepino's.
Well, I would have taken a Pepino's, you know what I mean? I always will. So, I said, obviously, all jokes aside, like, I'm like, oh no, Rich, you don't need to do that. Like, and he's like, no, mate, I insist. What day you doing the podcast, and I'll send you and Paddy a gift. It's just something for me to just say thank you for, keeping going during the lockdown and just giving us a bit of normality and that. And I said, oh, look, all right then, Rich, yeah, of course, we will accept the gift. Thank you very much. And I gave him your address, my address. And then I just forgot about it because obviously life had been a bit mental for me the last 10 days or so. We're going back to work and stuff. And then I'm up in Haverfordwest today. I'm literally about to finish work. And my missus goes, she WhatsApps me a picture, like, and I'm just about to drive the van away to come home. And she goes, are you expecting any presents? And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, was that off Lanky? And she was like, oh yeah, that's what the guy said, it was off Richard. And I was like, so then obviously sent him a message. That's right, so the company is a Swansea company, Pat, am I wrong? Am I right?
Yeah. Maybe based in Corket, as it happens, on the corner from you, like.
Really? Right, so...
Well, I've seen loads of people, like, the thing at the minute is, like, a lot of people are having afternoon tea and that.
Right, yeah, I've seen a bit of this, yeah.
So I've seen Starkle System I think at it. The company's called...
Full of Grace.
Full of Grace. And it's like, like a little box, I suppose you call it, snacks, innit, But, not the fucking snacks like me and you would fucking... A bag of what's in its world is a snack clouds.
Yeah.
And now, I just ate fucking 4 things, I didn't even know what they were.
Right. So it was in the box we had was like a meat platter.
Italian meats, which I'm always a big lover of.
Big fan.
He's a big fan of an Italian meat platter.
Me the same. Italian meat platter, olives, and then a selection of cheeses, patty,
What
crackers.
patty was it?
I don't know. I haven't tried mine yet. Tina won't let me. She's gone like that. Oh, we are not having that tonight. Me and you are having a bottle of wine because I'm not working Saturday. So she's going. Me and you are having a bottle of wine and we're getting into them tomorrow night. I was like, all right, okay, thanks for organising my life.
That fucking box wouldn't last until for fuck's sake.
Well, I'll have to fucking eat some sweets out the shop or something before I come home. But
Man, that fucking box was a fucking. I had that before I had my burger and chips.
that was your starter.
That box was an aperitif. It was a starter.
Well, she had some other. She bought another pack of cheeses the other day.
Right.
Different ones that are in a box. So she's on about cheese and crackers and wine and all this fucking nonsense tomorrow. She thinks we living in fucking Bologna or something, the fucking city cat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
you're a new man, in all fairness, like cheese with wine and crackers and that.
mate, I'm an open-minded guy. You know what I mean? I'll have a fucking go in there.
That.
But no. Thank you, Rich, for that from the both of us. I'm sure Paddy agrees. It was a lovely gesture.
Yeah. Like I said, half it, I don't even know what the fuck it was. Made me wish I liked cheese a bit more, mate. There's a lot of cheese going on in here. Like,
I'm big.
giving it away.
I love cheese. And mate, do you know what I'm...
Really?
My favourite is blue cheese. You know they got in there like...
they got big fucking bit of blue cheese in my box.
Oh, tremendous.
Really?
I'm massive on that, right? We went to, years ago, Christmas time, we took the kids to Wookey Hole, right? Like a Christmas thing down there. We stayed for the weekend, a couple of nights anyway.
That's Donna's pet name for the fanny, man. Wookey Hole.
Yeah. It wasn't quite as interesting as that down there. And they do their own cheese and they like store it in the cave and it come out, mate. It was fucking onking. It was like smelly socks, but it was amazing. You could buy it there in big blocks. I bought a load and brought it home, stinking up the fucking kitchen for ages. Fucking tremendous. I'm a big blue cheese fan.
Is this supposed to smell like that?
Yeah. That's all part of it. It's like they fucking ferment it. It goes on for fucking the aging process, like, you know what I mean? But it's whatever it is. I don't give a fuck.
Cheese go off.
You're asking the wrong man. I'd eat the fucker anyway. It makes no odds to me. I don't know what it is, what the difference is, but I know that I like strong cheese and the smellier and the more mangy looking the better. I'll give it all a crack. I love it.
Fucking hell! I'm sorry, that's not for me. Like,
well, have I ever told you the story about Skull Owen? About when me and Skull Owen were working nights in Royal Mill, and he didn't have a car at the time. So obviously I was living in Mount Pleasant, so I used to go up and pick him up from his house in Mayle, and we used to go work nights together, right? And we had a hell of a crew at that time. It was like me, Stuart Minnie, Johnny Gray, Marcus Evans,
good squad.
Skull, Cobleys, right? We had a hell of a team, right? Dudley Lewis, Swan's legend, right? We used to have a hell of a laugh. Anyway, me and Skull really got mates then, right? Because we were working together all the time, was in the car all the time. So I was driving one day and I said that I had gone in from work that morning before and I'd had cheese on toast and then I had weird dreams, right?
Yeah.
And Skull goes to me, oh, what do you mean, Mush? You fucking, what's cheese got to do with it? I said, oh yeah, well the old fairy tale goes there that, if you eat cheese before you go to bed, then you'll have like nightmares and weird dreams and stuff. And he goes, oh, right, okay. So the next morning I'm taking him home, I drops him off, goes home, goes to bed, up, go back and pick him up about 9:30 in the night to go to work for 10, whatever it was. Gets in the car, right, he's all flustered. I said, what's the matter, Skull? He said, oh, Mush, I fucking had some weird dreams. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, well, I went in, I ate a block of my mother's cheese before I went to bed. He had like a full block.
Well, like doing his own experiment, like.
Yeah, just to see what would happen. And he said he had spooky fucking dreams all day.
Oh my
God.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I don't know, you know what I mean? Maybe it was just in his head, but, it always tickled me. I just spent the whole fucking night laughing at him, thinking of him sitting there, slicing off bits of cheese, hoping he was going to have weird dreams when he went to bed at 6 in the morning.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck, guy.
But
Fucking hell.
yeah, it was like I say, if you want to send us gifts, we will accept them, even though we'll try to not accept them at first. What we're really trying to do is just be polite. But if you want to send us stuff, feel free.
Just because we say please don't, that doesn't mean we actually mean please don't. It actually means please do.
Please do. We just trying to like act like we really want those gifts. But yeah, if you want to send us a Pepinos, happy days. Just let me know. We'll definitely take a calzone and a mixed kebab at the same time. But
fuck yeah, 100%.
yeah, no. All jokes aside, it was a fucking lovely gesture, and I will be getting into that tomorrow. And yeah, it's weird to see the rain back. I'm looking out my window here now. I think I picked the right time to go back to fucking work.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's just on the pistol, no?
Yeah, kick-up challenge would not have been able to continue in these conditions. So yeah, it's all fucking. It's great to be back at fucking work. Even though it was quite relentless, and I locked myself in the back of the van last Saturday, which was I can't begin right. So when I went out the first day of training, right, I was training with this young boy called Scott, and he said to me, we were on a different van to the one I'm driving now, and he said, "Oh, the van you're driving," he said, "it's got deadlocks on it." I don't even know what deadlocks is. You're talking technicalities to me, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not the fucking genius when it comes to this type of thing. So I said, right, okay. I didn't even understand what a deadlock was. So basically, you've got a separate key fob to open the back doors. I don't know if you've got these in Royal Mail, but you have to have them in DPD on certain vans, right?
Right, yeah.
So you've got to use this little key fob, and it unlocks the door, but you can't open them with a key. So he said, if you lock yourself in the back of the van, right, which can happen because the doors could blow shut and you're in the back, you're stuck in there, there's no light or fuck all, right? And I said, how do I get out? He said, get out the side door, like. I was like, all right, okay. I think that fucking what happened to me, Jesus Christ. Only a fucking moron would get fucking locked in the back of the van. Oh, fuck me. So I'm down Haverford West Saturday afternoon. Pulls up behind Domino's. This big fucking, it was like a table or something. I don't know, it was fucking huge. But health and safety issue with me carrying it. And I couldn't quite reach it properly. So I climbed into the back of the van, and there must have been like a gust of wind, and it slammed the door shut and locked me in the back of the van, right?
Oh, fuck.
Mate, you cannot begin to imagine my panic, right? Because it was pitch black in there. My phone was in the cab of the fucking van, right? All I had for light was my little scanner, which wasn't much light, let's put it that way. Then I thought to myself, how am I going to get out of here? I remembered what the Scot had told me about going out the side door. I had to scatter about 30 parcels out the way just so I could get out the side door. And it was boiling hot as well. I fell out onto the road, like when fucking Ace Ventura climbs out of that fake hippo in Ace Ventura 2. Like, you know, when he comes out and he's like all sweaty and naked and he falls out onto the mud and people are watching him. That's how I came out the fucking side of the fucking van on Saturday afternoon. I absolutely fucking shit myself. But aside from that, it's been a pretty good week. Like, you know, I fucking loved it there. I enjoyed it. And do you know who I saw, Pad? I saw our mate Mervyn. I only happened to be delivering to Mervyn.
No way, what the chances?
What are the chances? Saturday afternoon, I'm driving. I won't give, just in case, you know, Mervyn's a big star, so I don't want to give his address away just in case he has flocks of, you know, fans down there. But I was driving along a road, and I go, fuck me, I'm sure that's Mervyn, as I was passing. And so then Merv messaged me, like, and he said, was you driving a DPD van earlier? I said, yeah, fucking, I passed you earlier. Anyway, turns out he said, call in for a cup of tea and all this. But yeah, right. I happened to have a packet for him yesterday. So I nipped in, and he showed me, he's built a bar out the back of his house. All sorts, living the dream down there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was lovely to see him. Big shout out Merv, I know he'd be listening at some point. But yeah, it's great to see him, and we had a little nobble for 5 minutes before I had to fuck off, because obviously we were on time schedule, like. But yeah, small world. You go to Haverford West and you bump into the king of Haverford West, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking hell, happy days.
Yeah, so yeah, that was nice. And pretty much, aside from working and that, I haven't really done a fucking lot. That's the only thing. When you're working properly, you go 8 weeks or 9 weeks with doing nothing, and you got nothing but time, and then back into a 60-hour work week. So it was like quite fucking mad the whole last week and stuff. But I've calmed down a bit this week. It was nice last night. I don't know if everyone has seen it, but I sat down with Greg and Justin from 100% Old Skool.
Finished it this afternoon, gotta be honest, loved it.
I haven't had a chance to, obviously because of everything, I haven't had a chance to listen back yet.
No, that's good.
Obviously we talked about it last week, didn't we, on the podcast? Obviously I had seen that they were doing interviews with all the DJs from 100% Old Skool, so that people, obviously they've had a big response over this 8-9 week lockdown period, and everyone's listening to 100% Old Skool, like, and they wanted to introduce the DJs, didn't they, to the people who have been following them, like, you know, and have a little chat with them and stuff. And it's just like a Zoom chat. I didn't even know you could record Zoom chats. This is all new world to me, Pad, you know?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
We still recording on the shit we was recording on nearly 3 years ago, you know?
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah, we haven't changed that. We don't forget our roots, do we? Also known as too tight to buy anything new.
So Greg messaged me. I said, yeah, just let me know when you want to do it. So we did it last night, sat down, had a chat. It was funny because I messaged Justin and I was like, oh, mate, how long do you think this is going to be like? And he said, oh, well, it'd be an hour maximum. And first thing I messaged him was, you know, I can fucking talk like fuck, mate.
Yeah,
I was
Justin
thinking,
don't know what's like.
No.
Justin does not know it.
I was like, hour? Man, just been warming up after about an hour. And no, all jokes aside, we sat down, we talked. It's weird, like, because we've been doing this for so long. It's nice to be on the other side, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, like, you know, I didn't, you know, you're not even thinking about coming up with any content or anything like that. You're just going to sit there and you're going to have a chat and they're going to ask you things and we're going to talk about things and stuff. And obviously there's a lot of music stuff, which we've talked about music stuff over time, but I don't think me and you have ever sat there and just gone extreme music on each other. I think a lot of that is because our musical tastes can be very different, like, you know.
Yeah, of course we can.
But it was nice to sit there, and Justin obviously knew what I was talking about as regards to rap stuff and that, and then we talked about the podcast for ages, and we talked about 100% Old Skool. Next thing we know, it's like over an hour and a half, and I was like, oh fucking hell, you know, we've gone on here. I hope we haven't gone on too long. You know, we can fucking.
What I like is they said, right, we'll wrap up. And then he just went on then for another 25 minutes, which I knew was going to happen. Right, so good.
There's no turning back. No, but I was enjoying myself. You know what I mean? If I wasn't enjoying myself, I'd have just let it all wrap up, like. But I was really enjoying myself, like, and the boys seemed to be enjoying themselves, so I was happy to keep going. And you know, it's a different thing. You know, you look. I just saw the picture of myself on a Zoom chat, and I was like, oh man, that's a bit weird. And that's out on YouTube now, like, and people can see me, like, instead of just hearing me. You know, if they listen to the podcast.
I think anyone who likes the podcast will like the 100% Old Skool interviews they do. Like, it's very much like, you know, Swansea DJs talking about Swansea nightlife, and I've enjoyed listening to them all. Like, that's how I told Greg, this has got legs, like, you know what I mean? Don't just tie it down to you a fucking mob. Fucking go out and interview fucking few more people, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. They haven't got to be DJs, or they certainly haven't got to be Old Skool, 100% Old Skool mob. Like, go out and see if there's anyone else, because, fuck, I've enjoyed them, I have, like, you know what I mean? Anyone who listens to this podcast, have a look, what is it, 100% Old Skool.
Just go on YouTube, search 100% Old Skool. They've got their own YouTube page, so you can just subscribe there. Obviously, being that mine was posted this morning, I think it's about fucking 9 hours old now at the moment. So that will be at the top, and then you can scroll down, and they've interviewed all the DJs that they've been on 100% Old Skool, and you can get to know them a bit. And yeah, it was great. And you're going to do it too?
Yeah, I think tomorrow night, as it happens, I can't fucking wait, actually.
There we are, mate.
I genuinely am, honest to God, mate, I genuinely am looking forward to doing it.
Excited, like, yeah, because, and I felt the same, because I was like, you know, I'm going to sit here now, I'm just going to talk, I thought I was just going to sit there and talk about rap music for like an hour or so, and just, I didn't care whether anyone cared. I would have just been happy just talking to myself, like, you know? Because I never really talk about that type of thing with people, and I'm quite passionate about that type of thing. And but then obviously when you're chatting like that, it goes off in different directions. You talk about different things, and I genuinely really enjoyed it, and I didn't want it to finish. I was like, "Fuck, I can keep going here," but obviously time is getting on. The boys, we're only expecting to do an hour, and I kept them for about another 40 minutes after that, I think. So I think I said to them, I said, "Fuck me, you think I'm bad? You're not gonna get rid of Paddy tomorrow, especially when you start talking music."
No.
Because obviously
I
your
think
gig...
I'm going to send the Grays box up to them just to fucking take them over.
Yeah, because obviously your music, especially your gig going, if nothing else, is way more extensive than mine, So you can talk about these things and obviously your Martha's days and all that. I think it'll be really good. I look forward to I'd hopefully listen to it at some point if I can fit 2 minutes into my fucking life. But I'll probably end up listening to it more than I will watch it. Maybe just put it on YouTube with my headphones in while I'm working. That type of thing. Like, but
again, it was like it's another thing that when we said about doing it, I was literally going to say, well, in 10 years' time, like everything on YouTube is always on YouTube.
Yeah.
So in 10 years' time, if we want to fucking show the kids, like, oh, fucking, this is what we did in fucking lockdown, then we can stick that on and fucking show the kids, like, in fucking 10 years' time. Which is what it's all about, isn't it? They just fucking little memories of fucking things we've done in the last couple of years, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think one of the first things I said on it was, and we've said it on a podcast, is, if we get asked to do something, like we ride in a wave. We've been riding it for like 3 years, nearly. So if someone asks us to do something, we're going to try it. Unless there's some reason why we can't do it, we're going to say yes. We're going to say yes, just to do it, innit? And that's what I said. Cool. That's what I said to them. I said, you asked me, like, fuck yeah, 100%, I'm going to do it. Because who knows? Like in a year's time, who knows where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing? And you can think back and you can go, I remember I done that with 100% Old Skool, or we went to Captain Beanie's house, or we went to Jack Shaw's fucking gym and we did this and we did that, and it's all experiences. And you can, if I was to not do something that I was asked to do, and then I look back a couple of years later and go, fuck, I really wished I'd done that, So like I like, I love like when we've been on TTLO in the past and things like that. I'll always try and do them if I can. Sometimes, yourself, Paddy, you're up to fucking egging it and everyone's busy and sometimes it's just not possible. But yesterday worked perfect for me, like, so I was glad I'd do it, and I'd love to do it again, like, but hopefully they'll keep on with it and make it successful. And it was nice to hear like the things that the success that they've had now over this lockdown period, because I know we've talked about them a lot, and we've tried to help them and push them and everything the best we can. But to see what they've grown and become from when we talked about them, probably fucking hell, was it like 2 years ago when Greg put on his first night, and even in a period where they should have had their biggest show with the Todd Terry gig, and it could have been seen as a massive disappointment that they didn't get that show on, and they've got one of the world's biggest DJs coming to Swansea, and it's like, it could have been very disheartening for Greg and all the boys involved that they've used that to create something else. And actually, I think we'll come out of the lockdown, instead of being
bigger,
they will come out bigger. Yes, that's what I'm trying to get. Instead they'll actually, the Todd Terry thing could come again, right? But this what
and it will as well.
And it will, yeah. But this wave that they're riding now, coming out of lockdown, couldn't have happened without lockdown. So they're only going to come out bigger now. They're going to come out with more ideas. They're going to have more people listening. There's no doubt in that, and more people wanting to go. And then when Greg talked about, Escape 2020 and potentially talks going on about 100% Old Skool having a tender, like I joked about it, like, fuck me, you need to get on that Escape 2020. And he was like, right. And I was like, oh, is this an exclusive? Like, And I just think it's great.
I think that would be common sense.
Well, it would be common
sense. Like, if you've got Escape in a park, I think if you fucking crazy, if you didn't have 100% Old Skool with your own fucking tent, do you not think?
I'm totally with you. That's what I said. I was like, it's a no-brainer to me. An absolute no-brainer. You know what I mean? You've already seen a lineup of DJs, right?
Yeah.
So
if they're going to have all the DJs that they got, and maybe a big funky house fucking headliner at the top, then fuck me, I'm in. Because me and you ain't gonna go no main stage, are we? You know what I mean? We're fucking in that tent all fucking day.
That's what I said to him. I said, when we used to go to Escape in the Park, I never remember standing at the main stage, because the main stage is where all the sort of more poppy acts that had big dance tracks were on. You know, we were in the tent with Eric Murillo. You know what I mean? We weren't watching that. So, you know, I'd say if 100% Old Skool have got a tent on an Escape in the Park, you know, we may be rolling back the years. And you know, but look, all the best to those boys, and like I said, it was really good to do last night. I'm looking forward to hearing yours, because like I said, you'll enjoy it. I hope the boys are ready to go longer than an hour and 30 odd, whatever I was, because, you know, obviously you've got some stories about everything. About
well, it's a Friday night, isn't it? So, you know, we should be alright. Going back on like what he was just saying about the Todd Terry night and all that, and again, Mado, like I said, I saw the post last Saturday saying this would have been the biggest night we've ever put on.
Yeah.
But then I was looking at Sunday. I had a little flick on it, only to literally catch a couple of minutes, fucking stick a comment up, show support, and I stayed there on my settee for 4 hours 40, just watching fucking Greg play all afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, before this lockdown, right? I would never have done that.
Never.
I spent nights doing this lockdown, right? Watching Ed Turner Friday night, right? Honestly, Friday night, I'm just watching Facebook fucking live video of a DJ in his kitchen. Like.
Yeah.
Same as Sunday afternoon. All I did all afternoon
was watch Greg.
Like,
yeah.
Chuck a couple of comments on, get a fucking few laughs and that. It was great because fucking Greg was doing a shot every time someone donated. Like, the kid was fucking pissed as fuck by $5. Honest to fuck. I was asking for, he was taking requests. I was asking for TV theme tunes. I was trying to get him to play Super Grand and fucking Little Snowball a lot. He won't have none of it though, but he done fucking half a bottle of Jägermeister, man. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, fuck, as you said, they've saved money hopefully now and not fucking booking Todd Terry. But fuck me, 100% Old Skool as a fucking brand. You can't tell me it's not bigger now than it would be if they'd have just had one big summer show.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
I think so. I think, you know, like I said to the boys last night on the podcast, you know, when people look back, like you said, when people look back at the pandemic, and people will look back at certain things, and I speak personally of myself then, right? I'll say, you know, my kids ask me in 10 years' time, oh, Daddy, you know, because they're still a bit young, like, what was it like? And I'll say, oh, well, you know, we did a lot of kick-ups in the back garden, and we always had 100% Old Skool on. They are the soundtrack, and I'm not blowing smoke up their ass, because I you know, me and, you know, we're mates with Greg, and we like all the boys. We do genuinely love it, like, and I genuinely listen to 100% Old Skool in the week, all weekend. Like, I listen to every single minute of Greg on Sunday. I thought, oh, I'll check this on for a couple of hours and this and that, and then before I knew it, then it was all day, and by the end, like, he was fucking slurring, he was steaming drunk. I was sitting on the patio, I had my Bluetooth speaker in the house, with it playing through my iPad through Facebook, and me and my missus were sitting on the patio. It was lovely, and we were having a couple of drinks, and he said a sentence which was near enough completely incoherent. And we just sort of looked at each We just sort of looked at each other, and was like, "What the fuck did Greg just say then?" And I walked into the kitchen so I get a better look at him, and you could tell. You know when you tell someone's leathered, and I was just looking at him. I was going, "Oh my god!" I said, "Teen, come and see him." I said, "He's had an absolute fucking skinful," and he was shouting people out. And it was all slurring, but like he said last night when we talked about it, when we had the chat, that he didn't drop a beat. He couldn't speak, but he never missed a beat, like. So I think maybe he should get leathered all the time now, you know what I mean? Maybe, yeah.
I love the fact he tried to raise a couple of quid to take the boys to Cross Keys, and now they're going to fucking Mauritius for a fortnight, all inclusive.
I can't believe it.
No fucking $9,000 the scruffy cunt.
I went to myself, do you know what? This would be worth a score to sort these boys out for all the entertainment they've given me over the last 8-9 weeks, kept me fucking sane. I thought, I doubt, you know, I doubt anyone would have put any money in. This is my mentality now when I'm looking at it. And I go, right, I'll give them a couple of quid so they can have a few pints. I went onto the donating page. They had about fucking $2,500. I was like, fuck me.
Can't believe it.
Where are they going for the pints?
Grove, right? Nicky Grove lives on the corner from me. And Arthur's too, he was walking out the fucking shop with a bag of cola bottles and a fucking raspberry. And then 6 o'clock, he's walking out the shop with a bottle of Ciroc. Honestly, fucking unbelievable. You could see him smiling all the way to the bag, the cat. Fucking hell. He only usually earns $20 a night, the raspberry. The cat is strutting around, he got his budgie, he got his Ralph Lauren swim shorts ready, the lot. Fucking Mauritius will know what's in there when Nicky Groves piles at the all in him. He's gonna give it a right welly. It's gonna be a hell of a trip, mate.
We missed a fucking trick here, Pad. We'll have to do a 6 hour live podcast, getting every cunt to donate, and then we can go fucking on all day to fucking Thailand when all this is what's ended.
100%, mate. I'm just going back to fucking Hotel Magaluf 97. The best club sandwich in the world, isn't it?
The club sandwich in there was tremendous. And it was right across the road from Manos.
It's the only fucking Michelin-starred club sandwich in the world. Wasn't it?
It was.
Club sandwich, that's all we had for 3 weeks.
It was absolutely fucking fantastic.
Neil Cobley putting on his fucking posh phone voice to a bird from Doncaster. Brilliant. She dropped the knife and fork and he went, I'll get one for you. You're looking at me, what the fuck? I'll get one for you. Fucking drop the phone voice. He was like, the Wolf of Wall Street. No, his old man when he answered.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. What's the Wolf of Wall Street's name? What's his name now?
Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. How long Jordan's office? No, he's not here at the moment. He's not in. Every fucking time the Equalizer fucking starts, someone fucking phones. I was like, you're probably like, hello, I'll get it for you. Yeah, little fucking give. Put his fucking phone voice back in the suitcase and prick. Best club sandwich in Europe, 100%. Loved it. Hotel Magamar.
Hey, speaking of people walking around fucking Port Tennant, can we explain the Port Tennant chicken on the weekend? Yeah. Right, so obviously if anyone saw the artwork that I had made for, and it was on our Instagram and on our Twitter, there was a reason for the chicken run. And it was just because we were trying to come up with an idea of this story of what Paddy was up to on the weekend. Go on, crack on, Paddy.
So, since lockdown started, if it's fucking, it started with the old biddies and all that. People was having games of bingo in the front garden, and then games of bingo turned into quizzes, and then quizzes turned into 3 pills on the head, and the guy opposite has got his fucking DJ decks out in his window, which could easily happen, and this is what happens. So Donna's cousin's boy, Billy Wright, everyone on the podcast will know him as the boy I pulled his arm through the fucking door and got stuck, and we nearly had to call the fire brigade to get his arm out. So he's a DJ now, and he personal trains up Mainways, and he's had a few DJ lessons of Jordan Steens, and in all fairness, he's fucking great. Talking to Ryan Hall, Ryan Hall's talking about a few things. Ryan Hall's looking to bring Funky House back in the Swansea, and so I think when lockdown finishes, I think the Optimists will be doing maybe a weekly night Funky House on a Saturday or a Friday, and we talk, and I said, fuck mate, you haven't got to have a resident, you've got plenty of boys you could have in week in, week out. We can get Jordan Steens in 1 week, Greg in another, Ed Kernow in another, Leon Singh in another.
Yeah. And
then I said, fucking Donna's cousin's boy over the road, and I was talking to him, I said, he would be prime for it. He's young, he's keen, he's fucking good, which I know, because he's playing outside Cafe Rambo, he calls it, opposite me every Saturday night. So, for people like that to have a chance in the Optimists would be fucking great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, basically, since the day, Billy's stepfather, Sean Crocker, Neil Crocker's boy, Rowan Crocker's brother, who's another link to the podcast, in all fairness to him, he's been fucking brilliant. Right? He sets up a speaker in the garden, and he'll fucking do bingo, he'll do a quiz, and he's just looking for new things to mix it up a bit. People are going fucking mad saying portenders are fucking mental, social distancing and all that. It's lemons in the garden. Granted, after 10 pints, we are in the street blocking the road off, doing wig, wham, bam, I'll accept that, right? But no one's caught COVID yet. So we're not worrying at the minute, right? So last week, have you ever seen the game, the quiz show, In for the Penny?
Yes.
On ITV on
I'm a big fan of it. A big fan of it.
Really? Is it pretty good, is it?
We love it. Yeah, that's so Saturday night TV for me and the kids.
Brilliant. So Sean comes out of his house at fucking 7 o'clock in the night in a gold fucking jacket and a big white boat. So he did games, right? So every family got their own garden, innit? And everyone fucking was in their own garden. So every family, there was a game, and a member of the family had to go up and take part in the game. So one game was like, it was a pasty on a fucking like fishing rod, and you've got to eat the pasty in the middle of the air without using your hands. There was another game, and I can't remember what the other game was then. And then the game that you saw on Instagram was called, I think it's called Chicken Run. So he boiled up a load of eggs, and you had to stick the eggs between your fucking legs and drop them in a pint glass, right? So this is how long me and fucking Dawn have been together, like, you know, fuck, it's a hell of a long time. She knows what I'm thinking, right? Now, 10 years ago, when we was having house parties, we had the chicken outfit, remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember the chicken outfit? Famous in my house, every house party, the chicken outfit would get on. Grillsy come to the house once, me and Grillsy was fucking talking out the garden. Donna literally walked out with the chicken outfit. It was a Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock. But because it was there, they always grabbed the laugh. The chicken outfit would always come on. Now, 10 years ago, I'd have gone upstairs and got the chicken outfit on. But the chicken outfit had gone back to a girl called Rosie, who goes out with Jippo. And it was her chicken outfit. I did fucking begrudge giving it back, but to know what it was, so fair enough. But I looked at my missus just before it was my turn to go on, and I said, have you got a rubber glove? And she knew, right? She looked me in the eye, and she fucking knew what was happening. And she went out and got the rubber glove. I come in the house, stripped out my kegs, put the rubber glove on my head, which was fucking hard in itself, mate. Not my eyes.
Yeah. My
eyes were pinned back in my head. I looked like fucking Kim Jong-un. Honest to God. My eyes were fucking right in the back of my head. And I've gone out into the fucking street then, taking part in the chicken game, putting the egg between my legs, 3 doors up, actually fucking put the egg underneath my bollocks. Any other time I'd have been fucking saying, why me? You know the why me movement? It would have been one of them, because it was fucking fun and games. I couldn't really claim sexual harassment, like, you'll speak as watch it.
Yeah.
And that was it then, and there was other fucking, and in all fairness to Sean, he's done fucking brilliant. And anyone who fucking moans and says, fuck, you shouldn't be doing this, and you shouldn't be doing that, all I'm turning to is there's a woman opposite me, lovely woman, Ira Draper, brilliant to me, because she's the only woman in the street who knows what they recycling it is. If it's green, the whole street will follow her. She knew that everyone was copying her once. Do you know what she did? She put a yellow bag out. No one knew what the fuck was happening. Everyone was looking for the yellow bag. Everyone's like, what the fuck's a yellow bag? Everyone's looking for medical supplies to put out in the street the day later. You were playing a fucking joke and everyone was fucking tamping. Because she don't know what bins are going out. The whole street goes to pieces. There's like 7 black bags outside one house and everything. It's fucking murder. And so she said, like, she's a woman. Her husband died a couple of years ago, and her kids all said, like, in all fairness, during this fucking lockdown, we thought my mother was going to be on her fucking own, no visitors, and you know what? She fucking thoroughly enjoyed every single fucking weekend. You know what I mean? Isla's best song used to be My Nat King Cole. Now it's fucking Freed from Desire. She got house music every Saturday, fucking no choice in the matter. She fucking loves it. Honest to God. She's going to have the fucking shock of a life Saturday when I fucking spikes her Dranberry relinquish it. But that's what it was, like, honestly, my daughter's fucking devastated. She's fucking dancing every Saturday night. She thinks she's in fucking Manumission. And, but the forecast is rain Saturday, so we fucked there, don't think there'd be any parties. But honestly, God, like I've told you before, best global pandemic ever. Absolutely amazing, mate. I get pissed every Saturday. It's fucking great. I goes up Morrison's. I get a few Peroni, few Moretti, few Estrella, because it's boiling. Have you tried that Thatcher's cloudy lemon?
No, not yet, but it's on my to-do list.
Oh my fucking good God. It's summer in a glass. Man,
Right.
it's fucking ridiculous. Honestly. You're drinking it like lemon Fanta when on holidays in the day, all inclusive. Fucking love. Oh, mate, it's lovely stuff, mate. Lovely, lovely stuff. Bucket, big bin full of ice. Oh, mate, it's fucking great. Brilliant, honestly.
No, I went to get that cloudy lemon on Sunday, and they didn't have it in the shop, so I got the Thatcher's Rosé instead.
Any good?
Yeah, it was a bit sickly, I gotta be honest. It's not my thing, you know. But I do fancy the lemon one. I was a little bit disappointed with the rosé one. Let's put it that way. But,
really? You won't be disappointed with this. It's tremendous.
Bit sweet. Now, them type of things, them type of fruity ciders, I can have one or two, and then I got to go back on a boat and like proper it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, no, I do like, and that lemon one does look good. It looks like it'd be quite refreshing, like.
Oh, man, it's lovely.
You could probably put a few of them away, like. Yeah, this thing with the weather changing now is going to fuck up, like, I don't know what Cecil Street they're going to do. Adams will probably get some scaffolding up and just put, like, load of tarpaulin for all the length of Cecil Street so they can still have a party,
He
like.
blocks the road off every week. They probably just get Jake Lynch to fucking build a fucking shed in the middle of the street. Innit? You know what I mean? Cecil Street's the most expensive street to live now in Britain, isn't it? It's up there where Simon Cowell lives and all that. Not like Hampstead Heath. You've got Hampstead Heath at the top. You've got a small Scottish loch with like £2 million houses up and down. And then you've got Cecil Street number 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless Michael Roberts moves and then house prices plummet.
Yeah, they've had a fucking whale of a time down there, to be fair.
Ball. Absolute ball. You tell me, why would you want this big mansion in the middle of nowhere where you've got to be bored shitless?
Yeah.
Imagine living on Cecil Street. Fuck, you won the lottery, mate.
And a fucking
Scott
absolute...
Quinnell is it? People's postcode lottery, innit? Cecil Street winning every week.
I know, they won't want this fucking, this lockdown to end. You know what I mean?
No, fuck no.
There probably is certain people that don't want this lockdown to end. Like, I couldn't wait for it to end quick enough, to be honest myself. But, you know, down there, they're just having parties, just party central, like, fucking in the wheel.
It's like fucking Boys in the Hood, isn't it? They cooking barbecues. Lee Adams is fucking dressed as Tito Jackson eating a tomahawk steak with a fucking slab of Moretti. Tell me that can't have one in life. It looked fucking amazing. He's got his tomahawk steak cooking all day with a fucking a DJ and a fucking band in next door's garden. Fucking hell. He's sitting on the stoop, isn't he? Like Ice Cube and fucking in Boys in the Hood.
Having an
Ooh, child, Adam's gonna get easier. Fucking brilliant, mate.
Having an absolute fucking whale of a time. Absolute whale of a time. Speaking of fucking people with mansions everywhere, tell you what I did watch. This is the one thing that I did dedicate time to this week, other than sleeping. The Epstein documentary.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you know what, mate? Stressful. It stresses me out, right? Simply because, right, the nuts and bolts of it is the government and the police and solicitors are supposed to look out for you, innit?
Right.
Like, if someone's doing wrong to you, right, or your family, you should be expecting the government to look after you, right? And they let them fucking poor young women down so fucking badly that it's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? They got let down so fucking badly, like.
It starts off like you're watching it. It gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker, literally to the end, to the fucking end credits, like.
It's spot on to the very fucking end, like they don't have justice at the very end, like.
No,
it would not surprise me if that cunt is still alive, like.
Yeah. Before we go any further and talk about this, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, right?
Yeah, we've got to talk about it.
Because we're going to have to talk about it for the people who have seen it. But if you haven't seen it, get to fucking see it, right? Because I know it's... Look, it's not the most uplifting thing you'll ever see, but it's fuck off interesting and show you how corrupt fucking people can be, like. And
it needs to be seen, doesn't it?
It needs to be seen, yeah. It's the same as many other things that are coming out now, and over the last number of years, that have been brought to the forefront when they've been hid for such a fucking long time because things are changing and people can't, hopefully, are not going to be able to get away with this thing because there's an awareness of it now that there never used to be before. So you have to watch the Epstein documentary. And when you go through it, you watch him, right? You see him and like his what he did to get into the positions that he got in, like, and he was obviously a very, very intelligent fucking bloke, right? Who had an ability to manipulate everyone, and that included other very, very intelligent people. You know, he had so much fucking money, right, that he could have fucked anyone he wanted. There would have been plenty of gold digging fucking women out there that would have fucked him just because he was fucking a billionaire, right? That was not what he was into, right? He was not into that, like, you know what I mean? He could have paid any number of fucking brasses in the world that looked like fucking 10 out of 10 models to fuck him, but that's not what he was into, like, you know?
Yeah.
That's what sexual predators do, innit? You know what I mean? He could have had anything he wanted, and what he chose was to get impressionable underage girls from sort of deprived backgrounds and stuff, and just abuse them and traffic them.
This is where they get the like kids like our kids are very lucky that our sort of families would never allow it to happen, would they? But if you haven't got a mother, or you haven't got a father, or mother and father are abusive, or one's in prison, or they've split up and they don't get on with their stepfather, these are the people that they fucking prey on, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it fucking works, let's be honest. Same as Savile and fucking Cyril Smith and fucking Leon Britton and fucking Teddy. The kids that they were fucking raping and they were preying on are the kids in like children's homes and with no parents. Fucking have attempted suicide and got no one. You know what I mean? They got no one to stick up for them. They got no one to fight the corner. And these are the people that they fucking prey on. Yeah. And it's fucking sad, mate. Sad.
Really sad.
What money and power can do to you. Like.
Yeah, like I say, you watch the first episode and a bit, and you going through it, and even though you sort of know the story, you're like, I was expecting a little bit more. I'll try to word this correctly. You're expecting to be a little bit more sinister at first, right? And then it just sort of turns, and you go, well, hang on now. And by the end of it, you understand what a fucking animal he was, like. And, you know, the whole Palm Beach thing, which I didn't even know any of that.
Didn't know existed, mate. Didn't know. It's literally crossing a bridge between poverty and fucking super, super rich, innit?
Yeah, and
it's like the difference over that bridge, like.
It's like as if he put himself there because he could prey on the poor people living just across the bridge from him, like.
Madness.
And you know, when you think that went on for such a long time, and then even when they started investigating him, and I believe that a lot of the local coppers that were on, and the private investigators that were on to him, they had genuine desire to catch him, like.
Yeah.
But they were
above them, didn't they?
And even the FBI agent, they said the FBI agent was crying when he got this like ridiculous immunity deal, like, and the US attorney had like shut down the case because he just had so much power that even though they knew what type of guy he was and what he was into and how he was abusing these girls, and they just couldn't do fuck all about it. They weren't powerful enough to do anything about it, and he knew that. And he manipulated that, and it's fucking absolutely mind-boggling that it could have gone on, you know. When you see that this guy who was the name of he's got an A in his first name, A in his second name. Acosta, yeah.
Bear in mind, like, he's the equivalent of, like, in Britain, like, he's the equivalent of Jacob Rees-Mogg. You know, Trump got him into the cabinet. You know, he was like Labour minister or Labour secretary. He was high up in Trump's cabinet, like.
Yeah, and
he's got Epstein off. You know, for obviously money, So he's so this guy is up there. So Trump is at the top, and underneath Trump we've got 10 people. This guy was one of Trump's 10 people. So he's got to be in the top 20 most influential and powerful people in the United States of America. And he's getting someone off a rape and child sexploitation charge for money. And he's one of the most powerful people in the country.
Yeah.
No wonder that country's fucked up. America's fucking crackers.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to that in a bit now. And you know, when you go through it, like I said, it gets dark as you go along. And when you see, like, we've talked about, like, Paedophile Island, like, on a podcast. And when you actually see it there, like, you know, the drone footage of them flying over it and seeing these places, and then you hear staff there talking about the things that went on, you go, wow, how fucking sinister is this fucking place, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's in the Virgin Isles, like, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and women were trapped there. You know when they're telling their story about, like, wanting to jump off a cliff just to get away, like, and things like that. You're like, oh my God, this is fucking heartbreaking. And to think then, you know, they see videos of, like, or pictures of Clinton on a fucking aeroplane, and Prince Andrew on an airplane going there. And the random one was Chris Tucker. I didn't have Chris Tucker down as a fucking nonce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who else? There's another one as well in that gang. But I can't remember. There's another one. We all went to Africa. Who tell me they ain't flying through the fucking with R. Kelly's lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and it's just so fucking sinister and so dark, and just shows, you know, what can be done if you have enough money, if you have enough power, if you have enough influence. And then when they get to talking about his house, like his £77 million apartment in Manhattan, and he had cameras set up in every room, that tells you
that. Like the film Sliver with Sharon Stone.
Right. Yeah, that fucker, he knew, he was smart. He's like, yeah, whoever, let's say, you person of power, you can come over to my house and you can fuck those young girls. But they're not telling him that he's got them all on fucking camera. And then when he needs something, he goes, oh, hang on, I'm on this fucking case here, Mr. Acosta, and they're going to fucking bang me up if you don't come out here. Oh, well, I can't help you, Jeff. He's like, well, yes, you fucking can, because I got multiple videos of you in my fucking £77 million mansion doing things with underage girls. So that's how these things, it was all a big blackmail scheme to keep him living the life that he'd become accustomed to. And that he thought he was going to do that forever. Probably his arrogance at the end of the day fucking took him down, like. And then obviously when you watch the documentary all the way through, there's no way I can believe he killed himself. There's absolutely no way, because he had so much on so many people that they had to kill him. Someone had to kill him. There would have been fucking countless people who could have been powerful enough to have him killed, and would have had him killed in a heartbeat just to shut him up. And exactly. He's a snaky cunt, isn't he? So if you're going to say to him, oh yeah, Epstein, you're going to do fucking 35 years, like, which is the rest of his life, you know, or you can sell out those fuckers above you. We want some real big names, otherwise don't waste our fucking time. That's why they had to kill him, because they knew he wasn't going to fucking sit tight and go, no, I'll sit on that and I'm not going to grass anyone up. Of course he was going to grass people up at some point. So
there was that top who's the people who investigate dead bodies, like look at dead bodies now?
Oh, the coroner, yeah.
The coroner, like the fucking coroner said, that is not suicide.
Yeah.
It's fucking impossible. It's the same as they call it Arkansas, don't they, with the Clintons? They reckon so many people have died in suspicious suicides with the Clintons. It's fucking mad. And they had the same doctor who did the autopsy on all the same people.
Yeah.
And he was on the Clintons' payroll, like. And they called it Arkansas. There was so many fucking dodgy suicides. Like, one guy committed suicide with 2 bullet holes in the head. How the fuck can you have 2? How can you shoot yourself twice in the head? That's fucking impossible. He literally shot close to suicide. Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, like you said, it's when you've got that much power and you've got that much to lose as well. Like where will you go to keep the power and the wealth and everything that you've accrued? Like and just killing Jeffrey Epstein, that's nothing. That's nothing to certain people. Like and you think that he was in a prison where El Chapo is, right? And some of the most ardent criminals in the world, like, and the
cameras were turned off.
The cameras were turned off, and the guards happened to be sleeping at the time that he committed suicide. Like, do us a favour.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. A woman fucking got caught stealing an hand sanitizer. She said by mistake from the Optimist. We had it on 6 different angles. We could tell where she got the Turkish doctor. She had her veneers done. And yet the cameras in Epstein's fucking cell were switched off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not having it.
No.
Ridiculous.
It's like you said, Ricky Gervais done the best fucking piss take of it ever at the Golden Globes this year. He fucking destroyed everyone, didn't he? And
go on, what did you say?
No, well, did you ever see it?
No.
Mate, go and watch Ricky Gervais. You can just go on YouTube and just put in Ricky Gervais Golden Globes 2020. I think it was 2020, whatever it was.
Right.
Whatever the last one he did. Oh my God, his opening gambit is fucking tremendous, right? He slates them all because they're all sitting there, innit? Even Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is looking up like dumbfounded by the stuff he comes out with about Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
But he says one line. He goes, I had a Netflix show out called Afterlife, and like people clap. And he goes, it was a story about a man whose wife had died of cancer, and you spend the whole you spend the whole season wondering whether he's going to kill himself. But of course, he doesn't kill himself, exactly like Jeffrey Epstein didn't, right? Right. And mate, so
he's treating it like I keep the fucking head near the wall, isn't he?
And everyone sort of goes, ooh, and he goes, oh, don't have a go at me. He was your friend, right? Mate, he dismantles them, right? Absolutely, he's fucking genius, right? And you can see their faces, like the camera's panning around the crowd, and some of them are bowled over laughing, and others, like Tom Hanks' face is the worst one. Tom Hanks' face is like this, like sheer shock, like, you know what I mean?
Guilt. Tom Hanks is guilt. He knows he's been fingering fucking Mr. Potato Head for the last 2 years.
Oh,
he's
mate.
a fucking snidey fucker.
I was talking to, I can't even remember who I was talking to about it the other day, and saying about potentially Hanks, being a fucking nonce, and I was like, mate, please, just let me have one that's not a nonce. If I can pick one that's not a nonce, I pick Tom Hanks, right?
100%.
Because
everybody, innit?
Because
you know what I mean?
how, right, Toy Story, right, how can I miss all these films out of my life ever again, right? Because obviously if Tom Hanks is outed as a nonce and within the next whatever, then you can't watch Saving Private Ryan again, which is fucking unbelievable film. You can't watch Forrest Gump, which is probably my favourite film of all time. Big, The Burbs, fucking, you take your fucking pick, like. You just these films will never be on TV again, like. You know?
Yeah, but do not treat it like the Dave Chappelle or the Kevin Hart, Michael Jackson thing. Yes, we know we fucked a couple of kids, but it's Michael Jackson.
I know it's a funny.
Michael fucking Jackson.
I know, but
he wrote Billie Jean. Can we just give him a pass? You know what I mean?
It's like I don't know. You can't. I don't think you can't. Like we talked about with Spacey, innit? Like I love The Usual Suspects, but if
he was the one, Kevin Spacey was the one who was laughing over them.
Oh God! Like I hadn't even considered that before. How can I watch Usual Suspects again? No. I know Spacey hasn't been outed as a nonce, is he? He's just a bit of a fruit, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't think he's very nice, is he?
No, it doesn't seem to be that way.
I'm an actor kid.
I think he sort of got away with it, didn't he? Like as regards to, I don't know, doing anything untoward. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but he hasn't been completely Jimmy Savile out there, does he? And So, you know, American Beauty, great film. And it's like, you know, can you watch those things the same way ever again? There's no way I could watch fucking Forrest Gump and go, oh no, Forrest Gump was actually a fucking pedo. You know?
Yeah.
It would break my
Looking
heart.
back now, yeah, probably makes sense, mate.
Oh God, Jenny, she got announced by her old man in Forrest Gump, didn't she? And that's why she had eyes for Forrest. Terrible. It all makes fucking sense now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But
I always used to think when I was struggling to get a shag, I never forget watching Arrow about 95 thinking, fucking hell, fucking Forrest Gump is shagging Jenny. Surely I should be able to find someone. You know what I mean? I was buying night Cortez in the lot. You know, playing ping pong. You know what I mean? Fucking hell, I was doing everything just to fucking get my leg over to someone like Jenny.
But yeah, he mentioned about America being fucking crazy, but right, it's not just America, mate. The world is crazy. The world has gone fucking crazy over this last week, because obviously this time last week when we sat down and done the podcast, you had to educate me because I hadn't seen anything. I'd been too busy. I'd not been on social media. We had joked about. You messaged me saying, you can tell you're busy because you've literally just retweeted about 7 things all at once. You haven't been on Twitter all day. I was like, no, I know. And I was genuinely that busy. I did not know the gravitas of it all, like the fucking, how mad it had gone. And then obviously over the last week, things have calmed down for me a little bit. So I've been keeping an eye. And to see what have gone on with the riots in America, and then what happened yesterday in London and a few other places, it's just, I go to myself, I'm shaking my head going, the world's gone mad, because pretty much for the last 9 weeks, the world have stopped. The world has stopped because of this big bad boogeyman called coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and not saying anything about the incident, which was completely heinous and wrong, and those police, and especially that one copper, should 100% face fucking charges of, you know, murder or whatever, because it was completely wrong. So don't taking a piss in that way or ever. But people pretty much forgot about coronavirus in a fucking hurry, because all I saw yesterday in Trafalgar Square was about fucking 10,000 people standing within fucking 2 centimeters of each other, right?
Yeah.
For prolonged fucking periods. So if coronavirus, you know, all those people now could have, in theory, potentially killed themselves by going and do what they did yesterday.
Right,
no, I completely.
There's a politician who was giving Cummins shit last week, right? Saying Cummins should resign and all that. A politician called Paddy, something, I can't remember his name. And he called all week for Cummins to resign, like. And yet, it was alright for him yesterday to go protesting in the middle of London with like 20,000 people.
I think.
What hypocrisy, like. You can't call for one thing and then do another, like.
No, I think it's absolutely mental, right? And I understand why people would want to protest in that place in America there, and maybe another place in America. I can't understand because I don't live there, and I obviously I've never had any racism towards me, right? So obviously I can't say I understand, but I can understand from their point of view why they may want to do that. But I can't understand why people in London are smashing up fucking police and causing fucking havoc, and on top of that potentially putting their lives at risk, right? Because you understand a peaceful protest is one thing, but when you understand they never end peaceful, because you've got people now that have been locked up for 8-9 weeks. I've got pent up rage just for being locked up fucking anyway, and then you give them something. You see one riot over here and you go, fuck it, we'll have a bit of that as well. And then it just snowballs into this, like, just riots everywhere, like, and you can't control it. And like I say, if coronavirus is really a fucking thing, if it's really, 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 really a big deal, fuck the jokes we made about Port Tennant causing a second wave, which never came, by the way, but we'll just brush over that. It never came. If this does not cause a second fucking wave, right? And I mean bigger than the first. Has to, right?
Because don't forget, it's in London as well.
It's in London.
It's
in London, which was the worst hit, right? If it doesn't cause a massive wave of coronavirus in London in the next 2 to 3 weeks, then we were all fucking tricked, right? That's one thing. That is one thing there and then. But to think that in America, what blows my fucking mind, right, is that it's not about protesting. It's about wanton fucking violence and damage and robbery and looting. I watched a video, right, of a young black guy, right, he'd put his life savings into a sports bar, right? I was heartbroken for him, right? He put his life savings into a sports bar. Don't ask me where this was, because I just watched one little 90-second video of it, right? And he was crying, right? He was crying his eyes out, speaking to like a news reporter, going, I put everything into this bar, everything I have, everything I own, right? And he said, they came in here, they smashed it to bits. I didn't even have anything in here for them to take. They just smashed it to bits, right? And he's crying, and he's so upsetting to watch, because you can see, this isn't like some white guy. Not that it excuses that, but it's not some white guy who put all his money. This is a black guy here, right, in a black populated place in America, had his life work taken away from him, and while the fucking camera crew are there, looters break back in and smash the place up again and try taking his safe out of his office, right? You can watch that video. That video was on Twitter yesterday, day before I saw it, and I was like, fucking hell, that's got nothing to do with the guy that was killed, George Floyd. That's got nothing to do with it. That's just criminality. That's just
we don't
crime.
Speak before the podcast, do we?
Not at all. Not at all.
Right? And like some of the things, like I probably say here, and I will not be politically correct, right? But it's our fucking podcast, so it's our opinion. There's no right or wrong. I can only give you the opinion that I think, right? You know the LA riots of '92?
Yes.
Yeah? We know it well enough. Maybe fucking seen the documentary enough. We could pretty much answer anything about it, right? The reason, so for people who don't realise, the riots in '92 in LA, and it was mainly confined to LA, started, like Guy Rodney King was beat up by fucking 7, 8 policemen. Lucky enough, don't get me wrong, America is one racist fucking country, right? Rodney King, how lucky was it that a guy was filming from his bedroom window? Yeah,
because this is before mobile phones with cameras on.
Yeah. Also, the guy who got killed last week, if he hadn't been filmed, none of these riots would happen, and he would just be another black man killed by a policeman, right? This unbelievably racist country. And America have got such a bad fucking problem. It's fucking untrue. You know what I mean? And it's fucking the country was built by slaves and on slavery. America got a fucking problem, a massive racial problem, right? But the riots in LA in '92, the riot started because the police that beat up Rodney King got off with it.
Yeah.
The case was heard in a predominantly white area of LA, and most of the jury were white people, and basically these fucking coppers had got off with it before they'd even stepped into the court, right? So they got off with it, none of them got charged with anything, and the city rioted. Loads of people were killed, shops were looted, shops were burnt to the ground, people were Koreans were phoning the police and had no backup. So there's a part of LA called Koreatown, which was being invaded by people looting and fucking pillaging, and these Koreans had to take it out their own hands, get fucking guns, stand on top of their shops, and fucking treat it like a fucking war zone. So that's what happened in LA in '92. Now, fast forward to this week. The guy who killed that black man, fucking horrendous, by the way.
Yeah.
One of the worst things you've ever.
You said that, didn't you? And I still didn't watch the video, mate. I just thought I'd not put myself through it.
Don't bother. The fucking guy is crying for his mother, and he's telling the guy that he can't breathe. It's fucking horrific. That guy's been arrested. Being done for fucking second degree murder. That guy is going down. That guy's life is fucked. Because he's got to be in prison now, and he's probably going to be sliced every other week, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, that guy's life is fucked, right? He had a good job, he's a policeman, he's done one of the worst fucking things as a policeman he can do. or as a human being. And he's fucked for life now, because he's in prison, he got his watches back now, he's probably 30 odd, he's got to watch his back till he dies. The day he dies now, we got to fucking have eyes in the back of his head. The other three policemen who were just around him have also been charged. I can't remember exactly what, but they've been charged as well, right? Justice now is going to be served to these fuckers, right? So, everyone's rioting before these fuckers have even gone to trial, right? So imagine now, in 6 months' time, when this goes to trial, America's going to burn again, isn't it?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Think of what's going to happen then. If that trial will be as big as the OJ trial, right? But everyone's fucking rioting now. And rioting and fucking looting. Did you see them all running out? It was a black guy filming everyone looting a store. And it was women stopping their cars in the middle of the road, running in, coming out with 2 pairs of Jordans. And he's filming them all, saying they're proud of themselves. You know, shops. Once places start getting looted, that's law and order fucking gone. Looting is the lowest of the low, right?
And it has to be said, this wasn't just black Americans either, because I saw plenty of whites, plenty. And I also saw plenty of plenty of videos of black men and women trying to stop it, right? So you're not pointing a finger in any direction, because it seems like at the minute anarchy doesn't have a colour, right?
No, yes,
it doesn't. It does not. It's not about race. It's just about anarchy. So go on. Sorry, Pat. Carry on.
No, and then go across the continent, then go across the Atlantic Ocean to London now. Now I've seen 2 videos just before we fucking started recording of people rioting in London. 2 policemen have been fucking out on their own. How would have happened? I don't know. There's 2 policemen on their own, and there's 100 people attacking them. I'd say 100 people, right, attacking these 2 policemen, and white people, white men, black men, white women, black women, Chinese, all attacking these policemen, right? 2 of them, and they get cornered off on their own, and they attacking them. And then I also see then a big standoff with, again, police, only these are, no, they're not in riot gear, sorry, they're just in the white shirts and the black trousers. And again, there's thousands this time, all in, and I know they got placards, you know, Black Lives Matter, they're letting the police with these fucking placards, right? Now, if you have a look, right, I should have said, in 2019, 2 unarmed people were shot by the police, right? 2019. Throughout the whole year, only 2 unarmed people were shot. One of them was the terrorist Usman Khan. Now, I don't know who Usman Khan is. He's obviously not he's obviously not going to win a Pride of Britain award anytime fucking soon. But he's one of the people that's been shot. One of the unarmed people has been shot by the British police, right? We're rioting over something that's happened thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away, right? So I just don't get it. Where does this come from? Like, you know, it's not not only is the guy being arrested, right? So justice will be served to this guy, but what's that got to fucking do with everyone rioting outside fucking Big Ben? I don't get it. Maybe I'm a fucking dinosaur and I don't see nothing in Swansea. You know what I mean? The actor John Boyega I saw, right?
Yeah.
He got his, remember the Olympics when the 2 guys on the podium with the black glove up in the air?
Yeah.
Right, fascinating story there, actually. Just to go off topic for 2 seconds, we've obviously seen that one. I know I can't remember the 2 guys' names in the Olympics. They had the one black glove up in the air, solidarity for black power and all that.
Right.
Well, the other guy on the podium was an Australian guy, and I think he put his hand up in the air as well. And when he went back to Australia, he was treated as a pariah.
Right.
He was a famous athlete. He was never picked again for the Olympic team or the Australian running team. He was literally ostracised. And his life was made far worse than 2 black guys who did that on the podium. It's a fascinating story, and hardly anyone knows about that because everyone was so engrossed in what the 2 guys were doing. Like, you know what I mean? So yesterday, John Boyega's must be in Hyde Park, and he's giving a speech. And he's an actor, so he's obviously got a lot of charisma and a lot of power behind his fucking action. Same as, no one who's seen Michael Sheen giving speeches. I always said Michael Sheen would be an amazing politician. Because when he speaks on behalf of the miners and the fucking and working class, he's fucking brilliant. Gets you goosebumps going. Same as this John Boyega would do the same in Hyde Park. You know what I mean? He's an actor. He's fucking good. And you can see the veins in his neck. They're fucking going. His eyes. You can see he's screaming. Right now, in all fairness to him, you know, he's there for obviously a good fucking reason. But John Boyega, right, stars in fucking Star Wars. He is Hollywood elite. He's Hollywood A-list. So can you tell me where his issue is? Because he's not being targeted. He hasn't been held back because of the colour of his skin. You know what I mean? He's in Star Wars next to Chewbacca. Chewbacca's walking around with no fucking pants on. Chewbacca had his talk out for fucking 30 years. No one's complaining for fucking Wookiee rights, saying he should get a pair of Calvin Kleins. John Boyega's going fucking mad when he's the Hollywood fucking A-list. So I can't see what is fucking, how he's fucking moaning about fucking life at the minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's mad. I think, like I said, I just think we live in a day and age where people want anarchy, and it's not about colour, and it's actually not really about what they're saying it's about. It's not about that. It's just about causing carnage. They don't like fucking Boris Johnson. Fair enough. I don't give a fuck. I'm not rioting because I don't like Boris Johnson. In America, they don't like Trump. Fucking, I'm sure there's lots of Americans that don't like Trump, that don't feel a need to fucking riot. This one incident now is just a flashpoint, and it's used to just cause fucking anarchy. And you know, where does it end? Where does it fucking end? Like, you know, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Like you said, no, there's a progression. Like there was a riot after the fucking judgment in 1992 in LA. Right? And not excusing it, but you can sort of justify it, like, because it was disgraceful, wasn't it? None of those coppers should have got off with what they did with Rodney King. Anyone can see that, and you can sort of, and even though you don't condone it, you can sort of say, well, I understand why people rioted there, but this year now they haven't even given the justice system chance to do the duty and put these coppers down. It's just like, fuck it. So then what happens then? What's the next progression? The next progression is we don't even fucking need a reason to smash up the fucking streets and burn fucking buildings to the ground. Or we'll just fucking do it anyway. And I saw things like people giving Trump shit. And I'm no Trump fan, by the way, before anyone thinks that, like, but giving Trump shit because he was like mobilising the army. What the fuck do you want him to do? I don't know what can he... Alright, no. You just sort it out between yourselves. Because the police can't fucking handle it. They don't have the numbers. Right? And this is UK and fucking USA. So what are you going to do? You've got to bring in the army. You have no fucking choice, like. You know, if you don't riot, there's no army on the fucking streets. Right? Anywhere.
Also as well, what do you want to do? Get rid of the police?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're the ones who fucking do bring law and order.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you want? Actually get rid of the fucking police?
Yeah.
Because then it's going to be like the purge over Port Tennant. Every fucking week it's going to be every man for himself.
Every man for himself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we live in it. There's no society. It's a complete breakdown of society. Forget it. Because
straight after bingo, I'll be down runs, fucking smashing his window, nicking his bags of quaver. Yeah. You'd have to get tooled up. You literally would have to get tooled up. Everyone's going running around tooled up. They've done out America. They all got fucking guns, man.
Yeah, but you know, it's sad to see. It's sad to see, and like I said, there's so many people, and they may be black, white, Korean, Chinese, and they've got no interest, and they have no issue. This incident has got nothing to do with them, but they got their businesses burnt down and smashed to bits, and they may have got attacked. I've seen so many videos of like shop owners getting attacked just trying to protect their fucking property, like, you know, and it's just like, fuck, what is the world coming to? Is this the world we fucking living in when that's okay? You know, that is justice for one man dying, or maybe not for one man dying because there may be many more, but is that justice? Is it picking on innocent people? Because I don't think that's fucking justice in any way whatsoever. It's got nothing to do with the death of that man. It's just got to do with criminality and the fact to think, fuck it, there's no law and order now because you're too busy over there dealing with them. So we'll smash a shop up and take a TV and we'll rob this guy here as well, like, you know. And how many more deaths for one death, you know? That's it, isn't it? And it's just like you say, you see it, and in America was bad enough seeing it in America, but when I was seeing the stuff I seen yesterday, I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like my bamp always said to me, you live in a great part of the world. Swansea's a fucking great part of the world because we don't have to put up with that shit. You know?
Yeah.
It may as well be in America, London, because it's just a completely different. It's a different world. It's a completely different world altogether.
Do not think though, right, that sometimes you've got to step back and just think of how lucky you are with the hand you've been dealt. Like, how lucky are we?
Massively.
Born in the place we are born in. Like, we're born, and I'm not just talking about Swansea or fucking Port Tennant or fucking Dannegrey Road. I'm talking like how lucky are you to have the cards dealt with if you're born in, say, Britain or born in America. You could be born in fucking somewhere like Sierra Leone where fucking, who just, the fucking mortality rate of fucking kids is fucking massive. You know what I mean? All it is lacking DNA that is born here in this place, like not a third world country where you don't know where your next fucking meal is fucking coming from, and there's no running water, and there's no fucking schools. You know what I mean? And they're living in a fucking hut and they're eating fucking worms from the ground. Yeah. How lucky are we, like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to step back and think, fuck me. Yeah. We are fucking lucky, like. Let's not turn everything into a fucking problem, which a lot of people do, like.
All these looters running around with fucking iPhone 10s in their pocket and fucking laptops in their house and they're stealing TVs they don't need. And then, like you said, you if anyone's ever read anything about Sierra Leone, one of the most horrendous places in the fucking world for human rights, for poverty, for fucking disease and illness and you name it. Read up about the West Side Boys in Sierra Leone and fucking tell me they're absolute savages. These fucking idiots running around the street in London and in fucking America smashing people up. They won't go Sierra Leone and have a chat with the West Side Boys because they wouldn't last very fucking long. So
the favelas in
Brazil and things like that where there is real fucking poverty and real reason to be fucking rioting, like, you know. Like I said, I'm sure there's plenty of people who have had rough times with the police, maybe in the UK and in the States. Like I said, I can't imagine what it's like to be black and living in America. I can only imagine that it's not fucking great. Like, even if you're successful and there's racism everywhere. But that doesn't mean that you get the right then to just go out and just ruin other people's fucking livelihoods and steal and rob and whatever the fuck, set fire to things. I think that's just fucking bananas. But I'm quite sure that most of the people that are on the streets, be it in America and in London, maybe they're not as educated, maybe they're not as successful anyway, because I can't imagine some black lawyer who works in Manhattan on a week-to-week basis, you know, is going, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go out now and start smashing up stores down the street, like, you know? So, you know, maybe it is a poverty thing and you know, a lot of people are opportunistic and just think that it's okay to go and do that thing. But, you know, imagine they started riots here now, I can't imagine I'd run over Wicks and go, fuck me, I got to get some decking boards out the back, like, let me steal this forklift.
Saying that, man, I do need some fake grass.
Yeah.
So I would set on it first.
Well, we'll see now. Maybe go and maybe I'll go and smash fucking shop window now and see if I can kick something off, Pat, and see if we can get something started. Yeah.
It's pointless going over McDonald's and fucking smash McDonald's. You'll end up getting filled in with that drag queen who's dancing like fuck up, showing the cars where to go.
What a guy he is.
Mate, I'm a big fan of him.
My missus just, actually I saw him yesterday on videos on Facebook and stuff, and then my missus just showing me now he was full of it again today, and got a lot of respect for that. Good for him. Yeah, he's having a great old time. Good luck to him, I say. But look, mate,
pulled up, I think it was Ashley fucking Dew. He pulled up and started playing the Rude. It was fucking brilliant. It was like fuck, man.
But mate, honestly guys, in Haverford West, when they opened the McDonald's 11 o'clock, you should have seen it was fucking bananas down there, right? Now, I'm not a McDonald's guy, right? I don't give a fuck. I'm not fussed, right? But one thing's for certain, there's no way in the world you're going to get me queuing like that for McDonald's. Not in a million fucking years.
But who is it? Who the fuck is?
Well, because
who
it's
is queuing in that queue? Because everyone I know will look at that queue. Everyone I know, and I mean this, everyone, friend, family, neighbour, everyone I know looks at that queue and turns to the kid and says, "You were having a fucking laugh."
You were having a laugh. That was literally what I said to the kids. You were having a laugh.
Yeah.
You were having a laugh.
Denny's, we done the bunkhouse.
Well,
we done on the smoking grill.
You know what? I can sit in a fucking queue there, right, for 2 hours, like a fucking lemon, right?
Yeah.
Or I can just fucking get on the bunkhouse and order a fucking pizza burger and cheesy fries and have it delivered in a fucking 1/3 of the time, like. You know what I mean? So what am I going to fucking do, like? You know, and on top of that, it's not going to be a McDonald's burger. You're going to get a fucking... There's a big difference between a proper fucking burger that you get in a bunkhouse or you get in Denny's or something like that and what you get in McDonald's. Now, don't get me wrong, McDonald's, sometimes you just need McDonald's, don't you? You know?
Yeah.
But now's not the time with fucking 2-hour queues. You were fucking joking. By my house, they were queuing, right, out of the drive-thru. So they zigzagged it through the car park like they did in most McDonald's, right? And then they zigzagged it, because Matalan isn't open, they zigzagged it through Matalan. Then back out, right, onto the road that comes out of McDonald's, then down left towards my house, they were queuing. I could see them from my house.
Jesus,
right?
Christ almighty.
Absolutely fucking bananas. And I'm sorry, but if you went and queued in that queue for 2 or whatever hours it was, and you really need to have a fucking look in the mirror, because I set them up. My kids went, "Oh, we want fish finger happy meal." I said, "Sorry, boys, you can have anything you fucking want, but there's not going to be fucking McDonald's, because I ain't going over there and fucking queuing in that. Sorry, you'll wait until the world calms down, and I can just crawl in there and it takes me 5 minutes, like. You know, it's not that essential." But, you know, fucking mental. Absolutely mental yesterday. Great for fucking McDonald's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, they making money hand over fist, but fucking hell, I just can't see it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'll get hold of fucking the Turk and I'll go, "Mate, send some burgers up my house because we need some real stuff."
Yeah.
Get them up here from the bunkhouse.
As it happens, mate.
Yeah, well, I think after all the burger talk, I think I'm gonna have to have a bunkhouse this weekend. I think.
Yeah, it's quality, mate.
I'm gonna, you know, it's. I'd say, like I said, the McDonald's queue is just another thing in society, innit? It's just like programmed into like McDonald's. Oh my God, McDonald's is opening. It's like as if fucking Christ arose, like, you know, quickly. You know, it's just McDonald's. It's just fucking McDonald's, like. Stop being so fucking mental about something that's not worth being fucking mental about. But you know, it's a strange time, and that really isn't the most strange thing that's happening. I don't suppose people queuing in McDonald's, as strange as it is to me. Like,
fuck no.
You know, fucking Madeline McCann. Fucking they've arrested a guy for Madeline McCann. It's
right.
like, you know.
Listen to this now, right?
Go on.
I'm gutted. It come on the news last night, right? Know what it says? The stories of the news. So I'll give you a little taste of the news, yeah?
Yeah.
It come on, new thing in the Madeline McCann, new clues in the Madeline McCann case. I turned the corner and I said, a year and a half ago, I watched the documentary. I can't remember whether it was the one on Netflix or something else. So I read a book or I watched something on YouTube. And I think it was the Portuguese Detective Amaral.
Yeah.
The one who wrote the book and the one who they fucking slandered and the one they stopped in the book and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, within the next 2 years, you will see that a German man who's in prison in Germany, a convicted paedophile, the blame will be placed of Madeline McCann's death on this man. He said it'll be within the next 18 months. The next year and a half, the Madeline McCann case will be blamed on this paedophile sexual predator who's currently in a cell in Germany. And it fucking happened after 17 months. The guy was a month out. Now, how fucking mad. I turned to my missus as soon as they said the taste, I went, oh my God, Madeline McCann. I went, I'll bet you £1,000 that they say it's a man in a German prison who's a sexual predator, and that's what come up. Now, what's the fucking chances of that man getting a fucking almost to the fucking month, right? They've spent 11 million quid on this case, right? This man, who's a known paedophile, was driving around with a camper van in fucking Praia de Luz at that time. And only now, 10 years later, are they questioning it.
Right.
Are they fucking winding me up?
Right.
Are they fucking winding me up?
Isn't it? It's just literally, it's just 2020, isn't it? It's just 2020 all over it, like, you know?
Yeah, man, 2020 is just, man, fuck, you know.
It just didn't surprise me when I read it. I was like, oh, 2020 strikes again, you know?
Oh, man, the only thing that didn't surprise me was fucking aliens didn't fucking bring her down from space. Madeline McCann is now Queen of Mars, like, not like John Carter, Prince of Mars. That's what it is, like, Madeline McCann, Queen of Mars. She's up there and fucking Shannon Matthews running fucking Planet Zog, innit?
Yeah.
And the aliens just gonna bring her and Shannon Matthews up and say, fucking, this is normal, this is 2020. And the best thing is, it wouldn't even be the maddest thing in the van.
No. Remember, people forgot that UFOs were in the sky, and UFOs happened, man. Yeah.
UFOs were brought, then fucking Elon Musk took everyone to space, and then Madeline McCann's found by fucking Adolf Hitler's fucking nephew. Fucking crackers.
It's just, honestly, guys, fucking crazy. It doesn't surprise you. It's fucking great content for the podcast, like, because
I'm fucking it, isn't it?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's
so amazing. Every time you think we're struggling this week, and then the whole world starts rioting, Shannon Matthews goes on a world tour, and fucking Madeline McCann turns up in fucking Rudy Baller's fucking wardrobe.
It's just fucking, honestly, and like they've arrested him for murder, so that means that obviously, you know, they believe that he killed her. It'd be great. I hope this guy don't mysteriously fucking top himself before.
I love them fucking
before we get the
movie shoots him up the arse. And
yeah, you know, there's too much. I can't keep hold of all the conspiracies, right? Because people are still sending me conspiracy shit, and the thing with the death of this George Floyd, there is tons, right? Absolute tons, and I've not had the desire all the time to spend on it, but you can really get deep in the rabbit hole with all that. You know, I'm not quite sure myself. You know what I mean? I haven't had time to look at it. But the conspiracies about the death of George Floyd are quite fucking extreme, like, you know?
Really?
Like it's some proper Illuminati, black masonry, fucking all sorts of, I don't know, sorcery. I'm not fucking even sure. But there's like a lot going on. They even reckon that him and the copper knew each other. They used to work security in a nightclub together and things like that. Like some proper strange shit, but I don't want to fucking go off and talk about it. You can find it if you go on Twitter. There's loads all over Twitter about it, but I haven't really spent time looking at it, so I don't want to comment on it. But it just seems another thing. I know you can make a conspiracy out of anything, can you? And people love to, and I like to read them. But this one, either it's completely false as regards the conspiracy. I mean, now obviously not his death. I mean, the conspiracies are completely wrong. Or if there's any sort of semblance of truth to some of the conspiracies, you've got to start questioning it. You go, no, hang on, this seems weird. There's a little bit more to this than a copper just killed a black man in the street, you know?
Yeah.
But that's not for me to say because I didn't really look into it. I just not had the time. But it is out there, and I've got sent a fucking load of it, and it's like proper weird what I did brush over. Maybe just everything's a conspiracy these days. I don't know, you know. Maybe we are to blame. Maybe I'm to blame.
Yeah, I think we should have some part in it. No, we'll go back onto the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so Epstein's dead now. And he been dead fucking, did he die this year or last year? It's been a while, isn't it?
Mate, 2020? Probably in 2020. Yeah. Everything else have happened in 2020.
So he died this year, right? Ghislaine Maxwell. Where the fuck is she?
She's just in hiding. Just because Just because she says she denies any allegations doesn't mean that she's not guilty of some shit. I don't care.
So why are we not on Ghislaine Maxwell? Why is Clinton not being questioned? Why is Prince Andrew just being allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants to do? Asks the question.
I wonder, right? Because I wonder how Epstein. I know how he got caught because people are fucking investigating him. But he was so powerful and he had so many connections. Who did he upset that let him take the fall? Because when you've got that much dirt on people and that much power, like, it only plays into the conspiracy theory that the QAnon thing with, like, you know, Trump is taking down the sex rings and all this. It just plays into that, the Epstein thing. Because really speaking, he was so rich and powerful and had so many connections that they should have just walked away, like, and just, he should have got away with it, like, you know? So I think, like, who did he, you know, if the Trump thing's not real, the QAnon conspiracy, which I did look into a little bit, that's not real. Who did he piss off that they let him go down, you know? And then basically someone had to go and fucking kill him then before he, like, because I'm surprised Weinstein's still going, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought he would.
Yeah, 100% he's going to be fucking found in the cell, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought.
Definitely.
Yeah.
With a fucking copy of Reservoir Dogs stuck up his ass sideways, isn't it?
I was pretty sure he'd be going down next, like. But, yeah. Why ain't Ghislaine Maxwell getting questioned? Why ain't Prince Andrew fucking pulled in front of in front of the police? Well, there's a very good reason why Prince Andrew's not pulled in front of the police, because he's royalty. And they're just going, you can fuck right off. I mean, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, even if they know he's fucking guilty, which I'm sure they do.
Yeah, at least question him, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen, is it? They're not going to start arresting fucking royalty, like. And, you know, the likes of Clinton and that, they think they're bulletproof. So, it's just, like you say, there's the 1%, and they're always going to look after each other, like, and they're in that 1%. But Jesus Christ, the likes of Prince Andrew is in the 1% of the 1%. You know what I mean?
Mate, we don't want to be conspiracy theorists, do we?
Not at all.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. But
you just got to ask questions, haven't you? How can these people get away with it? Because, you know, if you're a fucking right. You could be a guy that just goes out on a town on a weekend and you pull a girl and you think she's 18 and it turns out she's 15, and you will get fucking absolutely trampled by the law. Absolutely trampled, right? And Prince Andrew, I've got plenty of fucking seemingly evidence out there against him, right? And no one's going after him, like, you know? Whereas if that was some Joe fucking blogs from wherever, he'd have the fucking full force of the law down on him, you know? So there are certain people that are just completely above the fucking law. Completely above the law. And like you say, we don't happen to be in that fucking 1% and of the people in the world, like, you know, that can just fucking get away with. Epstein got away with what he got away with for fucking a couple of decades, like, probably.
Yeah.
You know? Just because he had so much money and so much fucking power, and he had like a massive blackmail fucking scheme going that kept him, you know, in the life that he became accustomed to, like, where he could just go and buy private islands and just use them to traffic women. The one thing that fucking boggled my mind when they said that a French friend of his sent him 3 12-year-old girls for his birthday.
Unbelievable.
I was like, what?
Fucking real.
He did what?
Unbelievable.
So for his birthday, he sent... Oh, right, okay. That is just bananas. So they were trafficking girls.
Man, I can't get a fucking cake off Donna.
No, I was happy with my cheese box, like, you know.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And it just blows your mind. And like you say, these doors keep opening. Like, you didn't hear about this stuff, but there is the worm is starting to turn, and people are starting to question it. And it just, you know, you go through the Savile thing, and it's just the snowball keeps rolling. So this is only going to build and build and build through time, like, you know. And people like to bury their head in the sand, and they go, no, that's fucking tinfoil hat stuff, all that. Well, no, it's not. Like, most certainly, you may think that some is tinfoil hat stuff. That's fair enough. But one thing most certainly is not tinfoil hat stuff, and that is child sex trafficking and sex trafficking rings worldwide. It's been proven in the UK. It's been proven in America. So you've got to open your eyes to that. Now, if you can open your eyes to that, you need to be able to open your eyes to the fact that many, many, many more things that you think are fact are not fact. And that the world is corrupt and run by people who don't have your best interests at heart and are only out for themselves and keep their power, keep their wealth, and keep the positions that they have. So, you know, when you can see that, anyone can see the child sex thing from Savile and all the way down, and all the powerful people who are involved, and these are the people you still trust now, man, you got to question that. Every single person, like. So it didn't just stop. It didn't just come one day and they went, oh, we're going to stop noncing kids now. Politicians are no longer allowed to nonce kids. They didn't stop. So why aren't we investigating? Why aren't we still investigating? We should be investigating every fucker. Every fucker should be investigated. Because we know within Westminster and within positions of power and wealth that there was child sex rings and even child murder rings and child trafficking rings in the UK alone. Forget everywhere else. Just in the UK alone. And it's not, it's like as if we went, oh, well, we next Savile and Gary Glitter, so we forget about the rest. No, there's still going on all across the country. So, like I said, if you can open your eyes to that, you need to be able to open your eyes to the fact that me and you aren't just two fucking kooks. Like, questions have to be asked about everything. That's all I ever say. Is like, if someone tells me something as a fact, I go, let me check it out for myself. And then once I check it out for myself and I form an opinion, I'll try and find the opposite to what my opinion is. And go, right, what's this then? Hang on, and find different angles. Because that's the only way you get any sort of semblance of fucking truth. Like, thankfully, with, like, a lot of, like, these documentaries that come out these days, these Epstein thing, it just brings, like, awareness of it. More and more awareness of these type of things, like, all the time. So people, in the end, people will go, well, maybe those people weren't so crackers. Alex Jones don't seem so crackers to me now as he did fucking 4 years ago.
No, fuck no.
You know, I thought Alex Jones.
You know, Sandy Hook, Alex Jones is still there.
Yeah, I just mean, Sandy Hook. I saw Alex Jones on Piers Morgan when Piers Morgan had that big show in America where he was popular before he came back to GMB, right? Yeah. And it was probably the first time I ever saw Alex Jones. I didn't know who he was. I'd heard a bit about him. He's this fucking crackpot conspiracy guy from America. And I watched that interview, and Alex Jones comes across as a mental case, as like someone who's got serious problems. But if you listen to what he's saying, then I think now with a bit more context, it probably makes a little bit more sense. Like, and I think at the time he was trying to defend, rightly or wrongly, because I'm not into guns. But he was trying to defend, is it the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms?
Yeah.
Right? And Piers Morgan at the time, so I think it came maybe in and around Sandy Hook time, and Piers Morgan was saying that we should just ban guns in America, and Alex Jones's opinion was we should not ban guns in America. But what he was saying was, it's not because he just wants to run around fucking shooting in the air, it's because Americans have the right to bear arms to stop a tyrannical government, right? So basically, they have the right to bear arms. So if there's a government that's tyrannical, they can go against it and fight back. Like, you know, because if you take all the guns off them, then you're basically just slaves to the government that's above you. Yeah. That was. I'm not.
For us to say over here, they should just ban guns, right?
Right.
Because we haven't got guns. Thank fuck as well, right?
Yeah. Thank fuck. Yeah.
So I don't think we ever will be able to have guns.
And like I say, I'm not.
But they've gone so far in America, it's too late now. Really, they can't go fucking back.
No. And I'm not saying Alex Jones was correct in that situation. I'm just saying that when I look back at it now, and I say I can sort of understand what he was saying there because of his viewpoint of what he believes of how everyone is corrupt and everyone and the government have got a plan to an American government I'm talking about now and the Illuminati and all this. Yeah, so it seems to make a little bit more sense to me now. But everyone thinks Alex Jones is fucking mental. But then you listen to when he's on Joe Rogan and he's literally unfolding stuff out and it sounds mental. Like, oh yeah, they're harvesting organs from babies, yeah, and they're doing this and doing that. And Rogan's like, shut up, Alex, you fucking div. And he's like, oh no, you can just Google it and find out. And then they Google it and it's there. And he's like, whoa. And then all of a sudden they go, oh right, okay. He said like all this stuff is there if you want to find it. It's just that most people just watch a BBC and read the Mirror and they think that's the news. But that's just what they're telling you. So, say Alex Jones don't seem half as mental to me now as he did then. I'm sure he's still crackers, like, but it doesn't mean he was wrong. He was really wrong on Sandy Hook, but I think he even apologised on that, like, but. I think, like you say, we've always said you should just ask questions. Just ask questions of everything. And,
of course,
you've got to ask, like, why is all this stuff happening in 2020? Why is all this stuff happening? I don't know. I don't know, but that's the only question I want answered. Is how come we've gone from fucking wildfires in Australia and wildfires in California, which were burning people's fucking houses down, and it was like the fucking apocalypse. And then fucking Brexit done my head in for fucking 3 years and finally shut the fuck up, and you're like, oh, thank fuck this nonsense is over. I don't even care, right? And then fucking coronavirus comes along then, and then we have to put up with all that. And now we're going into fucking civil war, basically, and potential race war, God forbid, and all these things. UFOs have fucking come along, right? And nobody even sort of fucking batted an eyelid at it. And now they've arrested someone on Madeline McCann, and a guy's dancing in a McDonald's queue. You know what I mean? It's just like the craziest fucking year ever.
Crackers, man.
Crackers.
Unbelievable.
But like we said, what would we do without this? Because fuck all else is happening. We'd be coming on here and have nothing to talk about for fucking 2 hours. So, look, it's fucking mad. I just think to myself, oh God, what's going to happen this time next week? People keep asking me, like, they keep asking me, like, going, oh, so, right, you're working there now. Are you going to go back on the taxis and all this? I say, look, just don't worry about any of that. Just take every day as it comes. Because who the fuck knows who's going to be doing what this time fucking next week? Because I most certainly am not counting my chickens that I'm going to be the same person this time next fucking Thursday, and because the way things are fucking going in the world, it's just fucking mental time. And like you said, I think we will look back in time and just go, what a fucking crazy time to be alive that was.
Absolutely party fucking year.
Absolutely
party.
Party.
Week by week it gets fucking madder.
Well, it does. It just gets, like you say, you just fucking shaking your head. Like you said, this time last week, Pad, around this point in the podcast, you had to explain to me what that incident was, because I genuinely didn't know. And now it's literally the only thing I can see. I've had to really stay off Twitter, apart from answering notifications of people mention me, because my timeline is literally just bombarded with this, and opinions like assholes, and everyone's got one, like, and they are just constant opinions now on my Twitter. I think because the Swans aren't playing, because my Twitter timeline used to just be about how much the Swans are a bunch of cunts, and I'm praying for I got sucked off with that, but I'm praying for those days to come back now, because all the political fucking nonsense and everything that's going on, I can't even bear it. I'm just like, I'm gonna bury my head in the fucking sand for the time being, because I just can't fucking face it, like, so I say we're living in a great part of the world where we don't have to experience it firsthand, thankfully, the carnage, like, but at the same time it's tough to watch. Hopefully it'll fucking calm down soon, like, everyone just take a fucking chill pill, like, maybe fucking smoke a joint, I don't know, have a can of Red Stripe or something.
Exactly.
And just, fucking play bingo out your front. And
dress up as a chicken.
Eat a tomahawk steak,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to suggest, really. Have a bunkhouse burger,
Yeah.
Maybe have a Dario's. I don't know, I've been meaning to have a Dario's as well, I haven't done that yet either.
Yeah, as it happens, I haven't got, there's a few on my list now. Over the weekend, I think there could be a Danny's, a Dario's, and a bunkhouse. What's that?
Sunday?
Huh?
That's all.
What I like to call it, Saturday morning.
Oh, fuck.
On podcast this week, there's come up on my recommended. I think it's just because of the times that's fucking happening at the minute. It's called 1619.
Right.
And it's very relevant at the minute. It's based on like 30 slaves that came into fucking Poison Bay in fucking the 1800s. And they reckon like from these 30 slaves, they can basically trace back literally thousands, if not millions, of fucking African American people.
Right.
And then it goes on. So it starts there with the African like a pirate ship coming and landing in America, and then it goes into the present day. And it's like cotton farmers in parts of America, and there used to be a predominantly black industry, like, but now it's been taken over by the white men. And he was saying, like, there's one story about the bankers wanted to drive these, like, the black men out of the industry, like, so they wouldn't give them. They were called cotton loans. Basically, how it worked, you would have a loan at the start of every season to pay for machinery and crops, and then at the end of the season you pay it back, but it just rolls on and rolls on. And banks were stopping black people get these loans, or say they would need the loans in March, they would end up giving them to them in July, which would put them 3 or 4 months behind all the white farmers. And it's fascinating as it happens in this current climate. It's very relevant and worth a listen, like just to see the times we're in, and just to see what America's like in in fucking 2020. Like, recommended 1619 is called, pretty good.
Oh yeah, well, I haven't got much to recommend other than the Epstein documentary, because it's genuinely the only thing I watched over the last week. I got plenty of other stuff I recommend, but I won't do that now because we're coming towards the end. We could save that because we never know. We may not have any content next week, so we fucking save that. But just want to give a fucking shout out to the Open Arms podcast, because
quality,
right now I spoke. Right, so this is how this came around. So Jamie Bradnam, Ryan Michael, they were looking to start a podcast. They contacted me about helping them out, which I did. A mental health podcast, and it seems to have already kicked off and been successful. They've had 2 episodes so far. You can follow them on Twitter and on Facebook, and I believe on Instagram as well. Open Arms Podcast, the local boys.
I've listened to them both and enjoyed them both.
Right, okay. Now, I spoke to Jamie and I told him I hadn't listened to either of them, and only because at the minute I was going to listen to them this week, and then I end up, I've only been in work fucking 7 days and I'm already training someone, so I couldn't. Right, I couldn't listen in the car. I had all plans to listen in the van when I was out working and stuff, and I have not had opportunity. But from Monday next week, I'm on Chris's podcast. I'm going to get on Chris Ware's podcast, and I'm going to get on the Open Arms podcast and listen to them all next week, so I can talk about them properly next week. So get on Chris Ware's podcast, which is on Podbean, and get on the Open Arms podcast, local podcast. Just try and aid arm, and give the boys a bit of a push, and maybe something interesting there for you to take away. Like I say, the mental health stuff, we talked about it a little bit, pardon me, in the past, and I always thought that maybe we weren't the guys for that. You've got to realise
110%.
You've got to realise where he's strong, and we wouldn't want to say something too insensitive or anything. So, and I think they're going to approach it differently, and I think it'll be interesting to hear. And it's like I say, it's a lot of local lads talking about issues that they've had and stuff, and so give them a little follow for us, and that would be doing me a favour, just because I know they're good boys. Ryan Michael, the Penland Perlo, the blind and Ice Beckham. Yeah, he was doing the kick ups every day until he done his back in, and
fucking fairly.
But
I'm gonna do a back in, doing fucking keep ups, you fucking lemon.
So good luck to those boys and everything they doing. Obviously, TTLO podcast is still banging out stuff.
I got they double Shaky Show the other day. I got to listen to them all.
Right, okay. So obviously, we are so behind in the times. We still on iPad. People are knocking out fucking Zoom chats, and But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Pad, innit? You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
We stay in retro. While they go into the next dimension, we're gonna stay retro. Fuck them. So
They're Lara Croft, we are fucking Turbo Ultra.
There we go.
I'm happy with that.
Happy with that, yeah. Have we got any more?
No, all good, John.
There we are. Just a big shout out to the usual JMW Heating. Boys still out there working. Follow them on Twitter at JMW Heating, Instagram at JMW Heating. Boss Brewery, Father's Day beers coming out soon. I didn't even know it was Father's Day. I'm so lost track of fucking time. I didn't even realise it was June until my missus told me earlier on, just before we started the podcast. I was like, what the fuck? Exactly, what do you mean it's June? So, Boss Brewery, get on there. They doing deliveries. The bunkhouse, we said, don't be like a div and go and queue McDonald's for 2 hours when you can order a fucking bunkhouse and have a much better burger and much better chips and have it dropped at your fucking door in 1/3 of the time. Obviously, 100% Old Skool all weekend again. Greg won't be doing a 6-hour set. He's already fucking retired from that after last Sunday, but it'll be fucking good again. And that...
I did have one thing related to that. Look, you know, I'm thinking.
Go on then.
Another fucking legend in another fucking lockdown, Ed Colonel.
Right.
I jumped on his live on Friday night. Within 2 minutes, I got offered a fucking job hosting. As soon as we out the lockdown, we are in Lockdown Fest, Colonel Brookfield. Don't know where it is. Don't know when it is. Where it is. But I know I said I'll fucking do it, and I can't fucking wait.
Absolutely brilliant.
Good fun.
Yeah, brilliant. And like you said, you know, this lockdown, if nothing else, and let's speak locally, right? Because we can't speak about other parts of the world, but I know locally, and we talked about this a little bit last night on the 100% Old Skool chat, which you can find on YouTube if you want to go and watch it. Locally, there's been a lot of solidarity between people getting together and banding together. Us, 100% Old Skool, Ed, Colonel, you know, everyone's trying a bit to offer something to get people through it, and I think Swansea's been a fucking fantastic place to live over this period. I can't imagine how rough some people have had it other places, because Swansea have really banded together and been fucking one big family, and it's helped. I'm sure it's helped a lot of people. Like, you know, every single person has done a little something. If it's a little something, I've helped someone somewhere along the way, and I'm glad that we could play a little part in that on this podcast. And I know the boys from 100% Old Skool and Ed Colonel, they'll all feel the same way. So, you know, we're very, very lucky. Like you said, you come out now, Lockdown Fest. Ed's made a massive comeback. He's like fucking George Foreman coming back and fucking in his 50s and winning a world title. Like, you know, people thought Ed Colonel was done. He's back and he's bigger than ever. You know, and Lockdown Fest will be fucking brilliant. I don't know how you'll manage to make it through fucking MC and everything throughout the night. You'll be off your fucking trunk. But
I agree.
It'll be good. You know, these things, you know, like Escape in the Park 2020, all these things, people have got more things to look forward to now than they ever have. And we should be very grateful that we live where we live. That's all I'm going to say. Swansea's a fucking great place. And we've all been in it together. So on that note, let's get the fuck out there, Paddy, is it?
Top man, right. See you
Right,
later.
we'll speak to you later. Peace out.
Ambition is critical.